attention, and don't think you can just wait this out. Let the authorities work with you and help you.
All right. Let's look back at this session by looking ahead. Will there be a special session on education in May?
I expect that to happen. I really do. And I'll tell you, we're meeting with next week, I'll be meeting with the legislative leaders. I went over 2 days ago and spoke to the Department of Education, and they were having their State Board of Education meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've given you some information, and when you get a chance, and you'll go through that. But basically, I asked all of them, I said, the governor, people believes, I think that we are in charge, or the governor has control, or the legislature has control of primary and secondary education. That's not the case. The only thing I do as governor is I look at the budget, when the budget's submitted, and then I appoint. Yes. But my appointments, a governor's appointments for the State Board of Education run for 9 years. Mm-hmm. 9 years.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, there's very little input. And I've challenged and I've asked the Department of Education that they need to take the lead. They need to be bold. Mm-hmm. And when I look at the results, when you look at the taxpayers of West Virginia, everybody should be applauding them, thanking them for what they do. Mm-hmm. When all's in right now, this year we will spend over $3.5 billion. $3.5 billion on primary and secondary education. Mm-hmm. That breaks down, we're number 4th in the nation. 4th in the nation are taxpayers of West Virginia with the ability they have in their median income and per capita of what they're committing to education. And we have let them down. Mm-hmm. We have not done the job, and the results show that we're not doing the job.
The race to the top grant funding. Mm-hmm. West Virginia did not receive that grant on the first round. Have you talked to any states that did, and what did they do? How were they successful in getting it?
Well, what we're doing, a lot of states took action. They took action prior, knowing that this is what they were looking for in those, and they had a special session, and they passed some things.
Okay.
All the groups involved in West Virginia wanted to wait and say, we think we've done some good things. Let's go ahead and submit them. Mm-hmm. And they worked very hard, a lot of time involved, putting together what they felt would be a winning presentation, mm-hmm. and it was not.
Mm-hmm. Is the issue charter schools? Is it really an
Charters
issue?
Is one of them that does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, give you a perfect example. In West Virginia right now, if you have a county education department that is not performing, and the students there are not testing to where they need to be tested in the state, then the state will go and take it over. So the State Board of Education takes it over.
Yes.
We did McDowell County 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. We still have it taken over. Mm-hmm. And our grades are less now than what they were. Mm-hmm. We've taken over Lincoln County.
Yep.
We just took over Fayette County.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you how serious this is. You or whoever lives in the county elects through a democratic process their boards of education, local county boards of education. If the county doesn't perform, we are so serious that we'll go in and we strip all the powers. Mm-hmm. So democracy basically is wiped out.
That's true.
The superintendent, state superintendent, is able to put in a designated, and remove the superintendent who hasn't performed.
And take away the power of the local board.
I believe there should be charter counties. When a county doesn't perform and fails, why can't you look all the way down? If there's someone in administration, a principal that's not doing their job, a teacher, whoever it may be.
Is this how bold you want the State Board of Education to be?
I think our children deserve it, and we must. But if it's bold enough to take away the democratic process of an election, why are we scared to go any further to make sure we have results when we're not getting results? So I just look at the statistics, and this is awful. It's very alarming. And I think the legislators, when they see it, will feel the same.
I wonder how we got to this point, because remember during the Cambridge administration, we put computers in the classrooms, and it was supposed to revolutionize education, and kids would be engaged in learning and stay in school.
But you have to give the support. First of all, you have to make sure they're connected to something. You have to make sure that there's support so people know how to use them.
Did No Child Left Behind have an effect?
No Child these were all well intended, and it's still they're trying to reinvent No Child Left Behind. All of these are good and well intended. But bottom line, sooner or later, in your private life, you measure your success by the results you've achieved. If you get no results and you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and nobody holds you accountable or responsible and makes you answer, why are we spending $3.5 billion? Why is it not getting to the classroom? Why are we not paying the quality, good teachers what we should be paying them?
Should the structure change so that the State Board of Education doesn't have a 9-year term?
Absolutely. That's wrong.
That takes a constitutional amendment.
It will take, but you know what? We're one of the few states that do it that long. There's, look and see the most successful states where their outcomes. Just look at the outcomes and where their students are tested, how well it works, and look at the money they're spending. Here, when you look at West Virginia, 5.15% of our overall personal income goes to education, primary and secondary.
Is there time to change what you want to change by the next round of funding in June? Is there time to do it? It seems like you're trying to really move the world in just a couple of months.
I've got to be honest, that Beth, I know that the catalyst right now has been race to the top. The changes have needed to be done for a long time. If this is the catalyst that drives us, if you've got a president of the United States and you've got a secretary, and they're from the political party that most of West Virginians are registered to, and they're willing to say, we're going to change, be bold, get outside the comfort, we're not competing, this is not good for our kids. We know the results, we know the amount of money that you use. Money doesn't fix a problem, Beth. People believe, oh, put money and it'll fix it.
Yeah.
No, you have to have a plan to fix a problem. Money can help you cure it, but it can't fix it. And I've said that so much, and I mean it. I said, when we're spending 5.15%, and you have Colorado, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida spending 3.66%, almost 2 percentage points under what we're spending in their personal income. And if those states are receiving better results, what are we doing wrong? Are we too top-heavy? Too much administration? Are we not basically making sure that the hiring practices, we have a little thing of 180-day. And you know how long that's taken, 2 years? Now, I asked the State Board of Education, I said, are you willing to be bold enough to change the 43-week rule in order to make sure we can get 180 quality days?
43 weeks is the contract of the state teachers.
Well, of the service personnel tied to the schools. I'm telling you, we've got good service personnel, great bus drivers, great cooks, great custodians. They do a wonder. They're committed to the kids. I'm not even sure they know. But if you have 30 days of snow and you're not going to school, shouldn't we be able to make sure that the kids get what they're supposed to get? After all, that's what you were hired for, and that's your job. Are we willing to change those things?
I can tell you're very passionate about this.
I am passionate. I just believe that for us to go to the next level, Beth, it's education. It's all about education.
I was going to review the legislative session with you, but I think this has been very instructive, and we will continue to monitor and look at what happens to education in West Virginia in the special session. Governor Joe Manchin, thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you, Beth.
After a bill passes both chambers in the same form,